The Dodgers have signed a couple players that are going to really help in their pursuit of a World Series championship. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 2% of you who are watching these videos and have already subscribed, but 97% of you haven't subscribed yet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss any more Dodgers news. We got a lot of great content coming your way. So let's get right into the story. Nick Ahmed, shortstop, is now a Dodger. The Dodgers and Nick Ahmed agreed to a contract on Wednesday afternoon, just hours before their game against the San Francisco Giants. Of course, what makes this interesting is that, Nick Ahmed came from the San Francisco Giants. Nick Ahmed was playing with the Giants this season before he was released just a few weeks ago. And now the Dodgers have decided to give him a shot. It just adds to that Dodgers-Giants rivalry, as the Dodgers have now picked up another one of their players. Just like the Giants have also picked up, players from the Dodgers in the past. For me, the Dodgers and Giants rivalry has to be the best rivalry in baseball. It's still going strong. Of course, you Yankee fans out there might argue and say, Yankees and Red Sox is still a big rivalry. But no, I'm going to say the Dodgers and Giants rivalry in 2024 has got to be the biggest rivalry. But anyway, let's get back to Nick Ahmed. So Nick Ahmed was picked up by the Dodgers basically because of Miguel Rojas going on the injured list. Unfortunately, the Dodgers want to get a shortstop, a veteran infielder. And, Ahmed was on the market after being, of course, released by the Giants. So basically, Ahmed is going to be the everyday shortstop, according to sources, until Miguel Rojas or Mookie Betts comes back. Of course, Mookie Betts had a serious injury, a broken bone near his wrist area around there. So that's a serious injury. Rojas, we don't know, he could be back sooner. Of course, last night he did get a chance to start against his old teammate Robbie Ray. But the Dodgers, are concerned about having, some experience there at short. I think that's one of the main reasons why, they decided to pick up Nick Ahmed. They want to have somebody who could field. Nick Ahmed is a two-time Gold Glove winner. Got to remember that, Nick Ahmed has won the Gold Glove twice. So he's a player that is reliable. They can field. And can really, make a difference for the Dodgers, in terms of him fielding. So let's talk about what does Nick Ahmed, bring to the team. Let's talk a little bit about what Nick Ahmed, brings to the team. So Nick Ahmed, if I could pull up his stats right here. Nick Ahmed looking good in Dodger blue in his first game last night on Wednesday night. Taking a look at his stats for his career, Nick Ahmed spent the majority of his career with the Arizona D-backs. He broke into the major leagues back in 2014. Has had a solid career. It's now 10 years in the big leagues. He had 34 RBIs back in 2015. But basically, he had a huge hitting career, huge hitting eclipse, or huge couple hitting seasons that I think the Dodgers wish he could kind of bring some of that back now. Back in 18 and 19, when he had 70 RBIs and 82 RBIs respectively, he hit almost 20 home runs. He's been a run-of-the-mill, hitter, hitting around 240, 230 every year. He's not a player that's going to, really, hit for, 40, 50 home runs or knock in 100 RBIs. He's just a solid hitter. He's going to walk as well. He's had 10 walks this year. This year has been a struggle for Ahmed, hitting, 232 with the Giants, only having one home run and 15 RBIs. I think that's kind of one of the main reasons why the Giants decided to move on from Ahmed, just the lack of productivity at the plate. But I think the Dodgers are, they got, think about it. The Dodgers have one of the best lineups of all time, in baseball history. So they don't need Nick Ahmed to be really productive at the plate. They don't need that. They need somebody who can be solid at short and not make costly errors that are going to cost the ball game. So that's what Nick Ahmed brings to the table, and I think that's the main reason why the Dodgers decided to pick somebody up who's solid, who has experience. Last year he was released by the D-backs. Just another note here: he was released by the D-backs in September, basically a month before the D-backs went on their World Series run. Gotta remember the D-backs went to the World Series last year. Nick Ahmed was not a part of that playoff team. So Nick Ahmed does have a limited playoff experience with the D-backs. Very, very few games. The D-backs, as we know, have not been a playoff team year in, year out. So that's something to keep an eye on for Nick Ahmed as he brings his expertise to the Dodgers, right? If he's going to be able to, really make a difference come playoff time. Now, the hope is that Mookie Betts or Miguel Rojas are kind of already back into their everyday shortstop role by the time the playoffs come around, that you don't really need to worry about Nick Ahmed having to have 3 or 4 at-bats in a playoff game, right? I mean, Nick Ahmed could be like that pinch hitter who comes in late in the 7th or 8th inning if you have to make a double switch, or if you just need a bat to come in and bat 9th, right? So that's kind of what Nick Ahmed is going to be kind of slotted into, I think, come playoff time. He's not a player that's really going to be dependent on if the Dodgers can get Mookie Betts back. I think especially if Mookie Betts comes back, they're going to probably slot him in right back into that shortstop position where Mookie Betts was playing on an everyday basis basically before his injury. So we're going to have to see what happens. You also have, of course, Miguel Rojas, who's one of the best fielders of all time in Major League history in terms of committing errors and just his productivity. He's one of the best fielders of all time Major League history, and especially among the active players right now. Miguel Rojas is one of the best. So the Dodgers have somebody on the bench that's really good. Nick Ahmed, like I said, is solid, a 2-time Gold Glove winner. So, very excited to see what Nick Ahmed could do with the Dodgers. Went 1 for 3, by the way, in his debut with the Dodgers against the hated Giants. Let's get into the other signing that the Dodgers had. The Dodgers also picked up veteran pitcher Jordan Lyles. Jordan Lyles agreed to a minor league contract. He hasn't pitched in an official game since April, so he's going to need some, of course, ramping up, according to John Hyman of the New York Post. Jordan Lyles is a player that, of course, has been in the major leagues for quite a bit. And, him coming on a minor league contract just affords them, some flexibility, right? So he's not going to take up a 40-man roster spot. I think that's what the Dodgers were kind of concerned. They didn't want a player that was going to, really eat up into their spots, right? Because as we know, Jordan Lyles, as we know, the Dodgers are in a situation where they're probably going to try to go out and get a couple pitchers, right? I mean, as we reported here on the show, Garrett Crochet is an option. Tarek Skubal is also an option. So, having Jordan Lyles is kind of that backup plan in case things don't work out in picking up these players. They can somehow move up Jordan Lyles and maybe potentially be a starter for this team. Jordan Lyles is also going to be with the Oklahoma City Dodgers in case, things go really wrong in terms of health, right? I mean, what as if Clayton Kershaw goes down again, or even Glasnow, or even one of their pickups that they hopefully get in the trade deadline goes down, they can have Jordan Lyles there ready to go to come in, maybe get that emergency start, or even come September, if you want to rest your star players, that's where Jordan Lyles can come in and get those starts to give those starting pitchers some time off in what hopefully is meaningless baseball games come September, as the Dodgers will be gearing up for a deep playoff run. Make sure to subscribe to Dodgers Digest.